Hi there, this is Jamie from the School of Creative Magic, and today I am here to answer your questions about rewilding dance journeys. We have an event coming up, and so I invited people to send in their questions, and I thought that I would make a video in addition to a written FAQ, so you have all the information you need to feel confident in proceeding. So let's start with question number one. What's it going to be like? What's the structure like? What can we expect when we arrive? Now, in a rewilding dance journey, we usually book about 90 minutes for it. Now, you're not dancing that whole time. I really want you to experience this as a journey, and so we approach it as a bit of a ritual. We'll take time to arrive, to connect to any theme that we're working with for this particular dance, a time to connect with one another, to settle in and create the space together. Because whenever we gather, we are all a part of creating the energy of the experience. So I want us to really do that together. So we'll spend about 10 minutes doing that. And then we'll spend about an hour to an hour 10, the most probably 15 in the dance proper. And I'll talk to you more about that in a minute. And then we'll come together and we'll take I'm going to loosely say about 10 minutes to talk through what's come up for us, but I want to be a little bit open and spacious so that we can all feel like we've said what we need to say so that we solidify any insight or learning or growth that's come out of the experience. So, this model is one I've been working with for many, many years in other formats, in other classes, where we sort of start, check in, set intentions, explore a theme, go into the creative process, in this sense, dance, and then emerge from that with some experiential learning. And then we want to sort of gather that, and that becomes a part of our integration of the experience. And so that's what you can expect when you come to a rewilding event. I also got a lot of questions about how to participate and honor your body. That's how I'm phrasing it. But people talked about having different physical limitations or different levels of energy, or if the length of time felt like too much to dance. People were worried, like, do I have to dance the whole time? And the question to that is absolutely not. I want you to be engaged the whole time. So I don't necessarily want you to dance and sort of like check out and get on your phone, but dance while you have the energy, or dance in a way that works for, dancing sitting down and with your hands, or dancing with your head or your shoulders. Like, that's dancing. In the first session we had, somebody danced in their bed because that's how they were that day. One of the principles we're bringing to rewilding is to honor yourself. And a part of honoring yourself is recognizing you are the expert on your own body. You know how to tend to you. And so engage in a way that feels good and nourishing and yummy and delicious for your body. So another one of our principles is that dance belongs to everyone. And so I want you to feel like you can come and participate from exactly where you are. And if that means like jumping up and down, then great, if that's good and healthy for you. And if it means tapping your foot, that's good for you too. So several people wrote in and said, I feel awkward, I feel self-conscious, and that gets in the way of me dancing. And so one of the things I really want us to do, again, is we are together creating a space where it's okay to be awkward. It's okay to be self-conscious. We have learned with all of the arts, and dance included, to be judged, to be assessed. And rewilding is the exact opposite of that. In fact, it's a reaction against that. I want you instead to come and get inside of your body. and experience movement and dancing from your own impulses, your own instincts, not about whether it looks a certain way or like this is an opportunity to try and let that go and to discover what your authentic movement in this moment looks like, feels like, how you can express yourself through your nose, through your hips, through your toes, through your rib cage. And it isn't about looking or being graceful or beautiful or sexy, though you can be. It's about being inside instead of outside of your body. There's no judgment here, no assessment here. Remember, dance belongs to everyone, and that includes you. Will we be led to dance in certain ways? Now, this is not about choreography. We are not learning certain moves. Will I sometimes say, let's explore, or try moving with your hands, or let's move around the room, or what happens if we let ourselves be just a little bit wilder? So you might get those kinds of prompts and encouragement, or we might not. The music is always our teacher. One of our other principles is honor the music. And so the music, I invite you to explore building a direct relationship with the music. And one suggestion I always have for those of you who feel like I'm not a dancer or I don't know what to do or you get a little lost, I don't want you to feel like you can't participate. My suggestion always there is to really listen to the music and to listen to your body. And by that I mean you can start with, okay, what might my hands do? What might my hips do? What might my feet do? What might my head do? And so when you sort of get stuck, just focus on one body part and the music and just see what happens. It's okay to take a little while to get comfortable. It's not something we do all the time, is it? Dancing. And it's certainly not something we've learned how to do from the inside out. It's certainly not something we've learned to do just by listening to our bodies and their reactions to the music. It's why it's called rewilding. We're trying to find our way back. We're trying to dance our way free and to build that relationship with our bodies and our spirits and music and expression. Another question that came in was, what kind of music will you be playing? And the under sort of question, the sort of worry underneath that question seemed to be, what if I don't like it? Like, what if it grates on my nerves? What if it offends me? What if I just don't like it? And I've got several things to say about that. Let's just start off with the basics of what kind of music will we play. Well, with rewilding dance journeys, I am being very intentional about every single song. And every single song is designed to be a part of an adventure that we're going on together. And so each of them may hit different tones, different energies, different heartstrings in order to take us on that journey. And as a part of that, you may find that there's a little part of the journey, or there may be some songs that aren't in your regular wheelhouse of what you would listen to. And one of our principles also is honor the music. And so there's a way that even if you don't like it, I invite you to do two things: to just respect it, to honor it in the sense that somewhere out in the world, there were not just one, but many artists and creative people who put their heart into making this thing. And artist to artist, let's always respect what people create in the world, even if it's not for us. Also, know that I am a person with incredibly eclectic tastes that cross decades and genres and styles. And what I'm always looking for when I'm creating a mix is something more around the narrative or the mood or the theme that we're exploring. So we might listen to house music, we might listen to rock music, we might listen to stuff you recognize from the 70s, we might play songs that you've never heard before, and you'll get a whole bunch of new music for your toolkit. But I can tell you, I'm unlikely to play anything that has an edge of meanness, disrespect, misogyny, violence. I'm not saying I'll never play anything with edge or things that aren't sexy or even occasionally use some explicit language, which generally I stay away from at the School of Creative Magic. But we're trying to tell a story, and so we might go some edgier places. But again, I likely won't play anything that sort of delves into that level of um, aggression. So I hope that's helpful. And of course, if there's something that's just not for you, that's okay. You can dance with like dance out like I hate this song. This makes me cry. Like like let yourself engage with that song. Tell that song how you feel about it. Express how you feel about it, and know that in a couple minutes we'll probably be in different territory that might feel better to you. I hope that helps. How much physical space do I need? Not too much. I always think about if you think about going to a nightclub, how much space is there in a nightclub? None. Like I remember the days where you'd have like your purse between your feet and your feet would never move. But just you want to make sure that you have enough space that you're safe to move, that you're not going to bump into something. I've danced a million times in this little studio, and I can tell you I have wrapped like I've knocked these Twinkie lights down 100 times with my hand because my hands are always going to go in the air when I'm dancing. So you don't need a ton of space. You just need enough to do maybe a couple of steps forward, a couple of steps back, a couple of steps to the left, a couple of steps to the right, and that you don't feel like you have to think about what you might hit would be great. Also, please let me encourage you to make sure to always attend to your safety. This is a part of the honor yourself principle. So, for example, if you have hardwood floors or slippery floors of any kind, I wouldn't recommend dancing in your socks. Like, you want to be safe. Most important thing. And the last thing is creating space free from interruptions if you have other household members or family members. And this is a great time for you to have conversations about having your own space and your own freedom to have, just an hour and a half where you are uninterrupted and able to do your own thing. You can even think about putting up a little sign on the door that says, I'm dancing, please don't disturb. And also consider whether they might want to join you. If your kid walks in or your husband walks by, grab them and invite them to the dance. Tell them ahead of time that you're going to do this. This might keep them out or keep them in. But have the conversation so that in the moment you can be fully present and in your dancing without sort of holding this tension of a loose boundary around you. I hope that this helped to answer your questions about rewilding, and I hope it inspires you to join us for this upcoming dance or our dances in the future. I would love to see you on the dance floor. I spent a year really training to become a DJ so that I could combine DJ skills with my coaching skills, with my years of supporting highly sensitive creative people. And I am so excited to offer this opportunity to you to come and join me. And I know I've mentioned our principles a little bit here and there. Let me just tell you what rewilding is built on. It's built on a belief that dance belongs to everybody. It's an invitation to honor yourself, to honor the moment. And that means being fully present, to being exactly where you are, to giving yourself a chance to not be distracted, to just give yourself over to time for you, to honor one another, to be respectful and supportive and encouraging to every single person who comes into our circle. We we create together a place where people can feel encouraged and safe enough to express and be themselves. That is magic. And lastly, it's an invitation to dance yourself free, to let go of external expectations, to let go of roles and ideas and images that have been imposed on you, and to start to shake that loose by just being in the moment, feeling your own heart, your own body, your own spirit, your own expression. The ripple effects of that are endless. I hope that sounds delightful to you. Come and join me for rewilding. You can sign up at theschoolofcreativemagic.com. You'll see a little tab at the top. I cannot wait to dance with you.